Okay guys, welcome back to another week of Cook Along with Young Shrewsbury. It's the final week of Veganuary. Some of you will be really pleased to hear that. Some of you may have enjoyed it. And we're going to finish off with a banging curry because everyone loves a curry. And when I've been to India twice. Some of the best food I've eaten over there has been vegetarian and vegan. The spices really help to sort of make things really tasty. So hopefully you're really going to enjoy this. I'm going to start off by showing you how to make some incredible Bombay roast potatoes. So if you like roast potatoes on a Sunday, these are going to absolutely blow your brains out. They're so good. Alright, so what I've done, because I didn't particularly think you wanted to sit here watching me peeling potatoes or boiling them, I've peeled some potatoes, halved them, boiled them, and you'll see they're still hot when I take the lid out. All that steam comes out of there, right? But what that does is it fluffs the edges up. So I boiled them for about 7 minutes, okay? So you don't want them to be fully cooked because we're going to cook them in the oven yet. But what you want to do is part boil them, okay? And what you'll get is those nice fluffy edges, right? So next into there, we're going to go with some rapeseed oil or just any oil, okay? And you want about 2 or 3 tablespoons. Now it's going to be a little bit, you think about chips, you need to fry chips. With roasting, you need to have a little bit of oil in order for it to cut them to get crispy. And you know you've got to have crispy roast potatoes, right? So next in from there, I'm going to go with about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a bit of cumin seeds. By the way, there's about a kilo of potatoes in there. Then we're going to go in with some curry powder, about a tablespoon curry powder. That's going to make them what's going to make them Bombay. And then a good sort of tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons of salt. Right, and then you need to get the lid back on the pan. Now you might need an adult to help you with this. You might want to use a tea towel. This is cooled down enough for me to do it without it. But you can hold the lid down, hold the handle, and shake your pan. Okay. And what you'll get, I'm going to come and show you, is some like fluffy, awesome potatoes, okay, and all those fluffy bits there are going to become really crispy when we put them in the oven. I'm just going to grab my roasting tin. Okay, so get a clean roasting tin, bang your potatoes in there. Okay, if you've got bits in the bottom of the pan, which I have here, just flick them. You're going to get a spoon. The extra bits like that, they're all going to help with crispiness. So just whack those back onto the potatoes. Okay, a little bit like that. So the oil's already kind of in all of this all this stuff that's kind of this sludgy stuff that comes off the outside of them, which is all where all your flavour is. That's fine. Just whack it back on. So you've just got your tray of potatoes like that. Okay, they're going to go in the oven. They're going to need about an hour on about 200. So get your oven preheated as well while you're doing that. Okay, pause the video. And then these are going to need turning every half an hour or for 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to pop these in the oven now. Then we're going to get on with making the curry. Right, we're back. So all good curries, in my opinion, begin with onions. Right, they're the main kind of flavour source. And like most dishes that we do most weeks, start with onions, okay? So we're going to go for very coarse, because this is a veggie curry, vegan curry, okay? We're not going to be needing to chop this really fine, so it should be very quick to chop. Okay, so top off, bottom off, halve it, okay? Peel the outside off, get rid of all that. Peel the outside off, and literally just going to want you to slice each half into about 5, like that, even 4. Okay, nice big chunks. Straight in the pan of oil. So you want about a tablespoon of oil in that pan. Okay, get these onions cooking. And go for the second one. Okay, this is a really quick fix dinner. It takes a little while to actually cook, but doing it doesn't take very long. It's just that it's going to need a little bit of time to sort of cook along, and curries always taste better the next day. So you might want to make this tonight and have it tomorrow, or they might make enough that you've got enough to eat 2 days in a row. I don't know, but yeah, curries are always good the next day. The nice big chunks of onion, right? They're going to break down anyway. Okay, it saves you a lot of time and hassle. Alright, so let's get those moving. And once they start moving and sizzling, as always, to get the moisture out of them, to increase the flavour, I'm going to add some salt, so teaspoon of salt at this stage, okay? And we're also going to put in some cumin seeds, teaspoon of cumin seeds. Now, they will release loads of their own oils into the main oil, into the oil that's in the pan, and that's going to create flavour as well. So get your cumin seeds in with your onions. Okay, next, pepper, okay? Thumbs on the top, in, pop it open, okay? Get rid of those seeds in the middle. Right, and then you've just got, you do it that way, pop and pull, you've got perfectly clean pepper. Again, nice big chunks, okay? So cut it into nice big chunks, like this. It shouldn't take you long, you don't need delicate slicing, you want big chunks of everything in this, okay? Pepper one in, and then the other half, so put that into bits, and just very quickly get that going. Keep everything moving in the pan. Starting to smell amazing already. Just the cumin seeds and onions frying is going to like send everyone who lives in your house into a frenzy of wanting to know what you're going to be serving them for tea. It's really good, man. Alright, so that's that. Good. Okay, next, carrots, okay? If you can be bothered to peel them, go for it. I can't be bothered. This is quick fix food. I'm going to take the tops off. Okay, and then at an angle, I'm going to slice them kind of like into discs but long, so they kind of look like that. Okay, nice big chunks of carrot. Again, everything you want to be roughly the same kind of size in this. Okay, they're going to go into the pan, just so that you don't lose anything. You want a curry is going to cook for a long time in here. It's going to cook for as long as the potatoes, so it's going to be almost an hour. So a lot of those carrot edges will break down and they'll end up smaller than what they were when you put them in. Alright? Get that working through again. So we've got carrots, onions, peppers, salt, cumin seeds and oil in there so far. Keep it moving round. Smells awesome already. Right, whilst that's going along, I'm going to take a thumb of ginger. Now I'm going to show you something I've forgotten. Oh no, I haven't. I've got a teaspoon here somewhere. Where's my teaspoon? There it is. In here. Okay, so to peel your ginger, use a spoon. Okay, just scrape it all over. It's the easiest way to peel ginger. Right? So peel it up, like so. Keep stirring your curry every now and then. Nearly peeled that. Whoops. Get rid of all the rubbish. And once you've peeled it all off, you can slice it thinly across, like that, into sort of like discs, okay? Which then we're going to go long ways and cut into matchsticks. So you end up with bits like that, okay? All the way along. I really need to get a second camera here so that you can see the angles of what I'm doing. And hopefully I'm going to have one in the next few weeks, so you will be able to see more of what's going on the board as well. Alright? So I apologise. At the moment I'm shooting all of this just on a phone, which is quite difficult. So we hope to improve the quality soon, but hopefully you guys are still enjoying it. Right, and then we're just going to chop up that ginger into little bits there. So we're going to use that seesaw method. So if you remember, one hand on the top, use the knife never leaves the board, okay? Use the knife to just roll up and down, and go backwards and forwards. You can go as fast as you like, chopping that ginger up into small little bits. Make sure you keep stirring your pan. Mine's starting to burn to the bottom because I've left it. Okay, this is an extremely hot hob I've got here, so I have to keep an eye on that. And the reason I'm putting the ginger and the chilli and the garlic's going to come next in last is because they often could burn. So getting the veggies in first, releasing some juices into there is always a good start. Okay, so the ginger's going in. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to go for some garlic and work that ginger in. I'm actually going to get myself a little bit of water because it's getting a bit smoky in here. Okay, so I'm just going to hit that with a tiny bit of water, just to loosen things up a little bit. It's always good to have a bit of water on hand when you're making a curry. It's getting quite smoky, as you can see. Probably need to open my back door, but never mind. I'm currently in my dining room because it's not really very easy to film in the kitchen because of the way my kitchen's laid out. So bear with me. I hope it's not got too smoky for you. That's 1, 2, and 3 garlic. It's basically just a case of throwing everything in now. Get in there. So I'm going to chop this garlic up. Just peel the skin off. So we're going to go for a quick chop up of that. Okay, like so. Turn this down a little bit, it's getting a bit crazy. Bit cray cray. Alright, garlic is chopped. That can go in. Good. Okay, next, drain off a tin of chickpeas. Okay, so I've already drained these before I came on camera. They go in. Whoops, lost one. Work those into everything else. Now we're going to go, excuse me, it's getting a bit smoky, with the curry powder. So a good heat tablespoon, maybe tablespoon and a half curry powder. I'm going to throw in a whole chilli, okay, and that can just kind of cook in there. You fish it out later. Stops it getting too hot if you throw them in whole. Chop it up, you release all the heat out of it. Okay, right, so work all that together again. Okay, we're going to go in with some tomato puree. About a tablespoon tomato puree. Okay, work that in. Then we're going to go in with a tin of tomatoes, like this. Work those in. Nice, it smells absolutely nuts. So good. Right. And then, next, a tin of coconut milk. You may need a spoon to help this out of the jar, the tin. Right, and that should start to look a little bit more like a curry now. Side. Work all of that in. Okay, so it's starting to go like a sort of orangey colour now. Alright, that's looking amazing. Oh god, it's a bit smoky in here. Excuse me. Okay, next I'm going to go in with a good tablespoon of brown sugar. Just to counteract the tartness of those onions. Sorry, tomatoes. This is looking amazing. Looks so good, so creamy. Alright. And then finally, so we tend to try and get the 4 main flavours we know, which are heat, sweet, sour, salt, and then all of those come together to make umami, which is what we're looking for, which makes everything sing on your tongue. So we've got the heat from the chili, we've got the sweet from the sugar, we've got the sour coming from the lime I'm about to put in, so a whole lime, and then we've already got salt in there, so this should be tasting pretty good. And if you follow that guide for almost everything you're cooking, unless you don't like heat, you ain't going to go far wrong. Okay, right, so get that in there, and then finally I've got some kale, just for extra green and goodness. Normally this comes in big long stems. You have to chop it up. I've got a bag pre-chopped here. So I'm just going to fill it in to the pan, okay, like so. In fact, I'm going to put the whole lot in. I'm feeling generous today. And what that will do, that will actually break down quite a bit. So just work that into your sauce, alright? And then what we're going to do is turn the heat right down. So that will all look like it's uncooked and a bit raw. It's going to, the whole time the roast potatoes are cooking now, just have this slow cooking, and I'll show you what it's going to look like when the roasties are done. That should be ready too. Happy days. How easy is that? Let's do it. Okay, just wanted to show you what your roasty should be looking like at this stage. That's halfway through, 20 minutes in. Give them a little shake and straight back in the oven. Okay, so the potatoes have been in the oven for about 50 minutes. Can you hear that? That's the sound you want, and they are super duper crispy. I'm going to come around and show you up close. Look at those, you can hear them. Absolutely gorgeous, crispy Bombay roast potatoes. People are going to love you for those. And this has been on the lowest heat now possible for the whole time. So just going to have a little stir through. It's looking nice, vegetable-y. It's very, very good for you. There's chickpeas soaking things up. The sauce is thickened. If you leave the lid off for a few minutes, it'll thicken even more. So just to finish this dish off now, you just need some fresh coriander. Okay, so I'm going to take some of that, find my knife, which is just hiding over here. I'm going to chop up the coriander. So chop it nice and light and small, okay, all the way through. Like that, and what we're going to do is going to use most of that to go through the curry, and then just to save a little bit, just to finish the dish with at the end. Okay, so I'm going to save that little bit there just for a garnish, but most of it is going to go into the curry, so stir that through. That's going to give it a lovely bit of freshness to finish. Okay, so that's that. And then all we've got to do is plate it up. So I've got some boiled rice here. I'm just going to put some rice onto the plate, like so. A lovely big portion of this awesomely healthy and delicious veggie curry. You could always put chicken in it if you want, you know. This is a great little base, though. The coconut milk and the tomatoes together make for a wicked dinner. Okay, and then finally, just use fingers, I'm going to go for 5 cheeky Bombay potatoes, and then we're just going to finish it, as I said, with some fresh coriander. And there we have it, ladies and gents. Veggie curry, Bombay roast potatoes and rice. Get on it, I want to see your photos. Next week, we're back to resuming normal service with some meat. So if you've got any suggestions, send them through to me. Otherwise, you're going to be eating whatever I fancy for tea. Okay? Thanks very much. If you've liked what you've seen today, like, subscribe, tell your mates, and we'll see you next week.